Okay everybody, so I'm back now. I realized that when I was doing the previous video it was really dark, and I think because of the background was a brown towel, so I've changed it to a pinky peachy towel, so hopefully you can see the video in a better quality. I've also put some candles here as well just to lighten up the room a little bit. So I am going to continue with my Sweet Jar Lover Return spell. It is early hours of the morning and I need to complete this spell and start off the spell. When I mean complete, I mean get the jar completed and start off the spell with the red candle before the sunrise. So I do need to continue with this spell quickly. So, off the camera I put the two voodoo dolls together. So once again, both voodoo dolls had spirit powder. Both of them were baptized with holy water, and the target then was, may I say, penetrated with pins in specific areas to control the mind of that target. Then I put a petition around the target and my client, and then I wrapped the petition with a pink-red thread, and I've put it in the jar as a foundation of my Lover Return sweet jar. Now guys, one thing I do have to mention here is when you are doing spirit powder, when you control the mind of your target, that is referred to within the Indian Hindu culture as Vashikaran. Vashikaran is a very powerful process. It can actually completely make your target mental, mad, make him go off the radar and think, what the hell is going on, because spirit powder and voodoo doll is the strongest connection you can make magically with a person, and that is what I'm doing today. But I'm not using Hindu mantras, I'm not using them, so therefore, although yes, this is powerful black magic and yes, this is a powerful link to the target, I'm not doing Vashikaran, so I'm not doing the controlling element is not done to the highest degree. So I want the target to feel that he wants to return back to my client rather than he's feeling forced to come back to my client. So there's a tactic behind this as well. But anyways, now we've put the petition and the foundation is ready for the sweet jar, I'm now going to put in, the first thing I'm going to put in is a flower. This is a rose flower, and this is an offering to the target to lure the target into this spell and make the target come back and return happily and lovingly to my client. This has already been prayed over off camera, so this can go at the bottom there. Next thing I'm going to put in is a cinnamon stick. Cinnamon stick is very good when it comes to lust, and it comes to sex, and it comes to passion. And I want the target to be sexually attracted to my client, and I want him to feel like, that's it, he needs to have my client. He needs to have that exotic sex with my client, and he's going to come back, and I'm going to make him come back. So the cinnamon stick goes in here as well. Next thing I'm going to put in is peppermint sweets. Now I've chosen 2, 4, 6, 8 peppermint sweets. These are pure peppermint sweets and they've been prayed over. Peppermint is very good when it comes to communication. Now the target, although is still in communication with my client, because he is seeing somebody else, the communication is not great. So these peppermint sweets are to once again control the target and make that target want to communicate better with my client. Okay, next thing I'm going to add in is some coffee. So once again, you've seen this in my breakout spell as well, so I always add coffee to my spells. The reason why I add coffee to my spells, coffee grounds the spell, and it grounds it in the physical world, just like star anise. So coffee is a great element to add to any spell that you're doing, especially when it's jar spells. Next thing I'm going to add in are full cloves. So full cloves, hope you can see this. Cloves are added to the spell to bring dominance, to bring dominant power to the spell. So although yes, we are alluring the target in a loving way to my client, we need to add a bit of dominance to it so my client has the upper leg. I want my client to be the happy person in this spell. I want my client to be fully satisfied and get the results. And of course, as you know, I charge £300 for a sweet jar level return work. This better work. Okay, the next thing I'm going to add in is, of course, honey, because this is a sweet jar. Okay, so let it drip down. Once again, this honey has been prayed over off camera, so I don't need to pray it on camera. Next thing I'm going to add in is 100% pure Canadian maple syrup. Maple syrup is really good when it comes to sweet jar and lover return work. Remember, we want this to be a beautiful, smooth transition in the mind of the target. I want the target to feel he wants to come back to my client, and you know, he's not going to be satisfied until he comes back to my client and has those special moments and relives those beautiful memories with my client. So I'm using these ingredients. Now, a lot of you people will be thinking maple syrup is really expensive, I don't want to use this. Once again, guys, if you want good results, you need to use good ingredients. So please go ahead and do put in maple syrup in your spell. Now, the final ingredient that goes into the sweet jar is sweet rum. Alcohol makes, in the magical world, alcohol makes the spell last longer. So yes, we've got the target here. Yes, we've controlled the mind and the body of the target. Yes, we've got all these ingredients, but we don't want it to just last for a couple of days. We want this to last for months and years. So adding alcohol to this will make it last longer. So once again, guys, sweet rum is really good. Okay. The final thing we need to do, by the way, it smells really nice here with all these sweet ingredients and everything. We're going to add the top and close this. So this is now, I don't know if you can see this or not, it's such a beautiful looking jar here with the peppermint, with the coffee inside. It actually looks really, really good. Okay, now the final thing I'm going to add to this jar is going to be foil. And I will pray over the foil off camera in a moment. Now, the reason why I add foil to this jar, remember we have put spirit powder into the voodoo dolls. We've then baptized the voodoo doll as well. Now, that voodoo doll contains the soul of the target. And what I've done here in this jar is I've put the target face to face with my client. Now, in this magical world, the only person that my target is going to see is my client, because he's facing my client in this jar. And I do not want my target to see anybody else. So I'm putting foil around this jar. So in the real world, the target is now going to be looking, and he's going to be longing for my client, and he's going to be thinking, where is my client? Where is he? You know, he's not going to be happy without him. He's not going to be in peace without my target, because I've controlled his mind in this spell. The only person that he will see in a loving sexual manner who he'd want to be with in a relationship will be with my client, and he won't see anybody else. So the breakup jar that I've already performed is working to break the connection between the target and his current lover, and this jar, this powerful, potent jar, is going to bring back the the target to my client. So I'm going to pray over the foil, and I'm now going to set the altar and show you how this spell is going to look before I light the final candle. So I'll be back in a moment.